The following program is produced with a grant from the U.S. Office of Education.
A production of the Maine Public Broadcasting Network.
Hi, I'm Jean Meserve. Women in the trades, women in the Maine woods, ruby slippers in transition, all of this in this half hour. But first, 3% of Maine's population is mentally retarded. In some cases, the retardation has been caused by genetic defect. In other cases, improper prenatal care. Sometimes an infant doesn't receive enough oxygen during childbirth, and this results in retardation. Other retarded people are simply the victims of child abuse. There are various degrees of retardation as well as various causes. Most of the retarded in Maine are borderline cases or only mildly retarded. Some of the adults in this classification work in sheltered workshops. The Elmhurst Center in Bath is one. There they teach clients vocational skills like carpentry. Salli Rich-Smith is an instructor there.
We'll get there in a minute, Bobby, okay? The interesting thing is in finding those ways of dealing with people who don't learn the same as I do, who do learn but in very different, disabled ways. How can I present this to somebody who maybe at the first doesn't care, maybe has no interest in, or no ability in?
That's great. Let's see. Let's see how it comes all the way along.
The handicapped here, they have physical handicaps and mental handicaps. At this point, they're able to strip, hand sand, refinish in accordance with anyone's wishes, and they're able to do so at a much lower rate than the fine furniture shops refinish. Well, I don't feel that they're being exploited because they're in a learning process.
Do you have any chairs like this at home?
I have my grandma.
Does she have some?
Yeah.
That you could look at the final finished chair and see how beautiful it looks, and that's what's going to be yours, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are jobs to be done, and I'm sure that in the broad sense that they can be job ready and job worthy someday. Resistance to hiring handicapped, of course, you know, by law we cannot have that resistance. We can meet it and fight it. I came into the Elmhurst Center as a carpenter hired on to help build a summer pavilion. And I then had an opportunity to come to the workshop with them to be an instructor in carpentry. Working as a carpenter per se, you know, has a height of value to it, to me personally, that, you know, it's glorious and wonderful, and, you know, and the days, you know, could be 40 hours long, and I'd love every one of them. But it couldn't have as much meaning to me as each of the individuals here in being able to teach them in carpentry skills.
Wendell, have you decided what kind of wood is in this chair?
No, I know.
Do you have any thoughts about what it might be?
Love them dearly. They are marvelous human beings. They attract more of you, more of your empathy, sympathy, and probably effort.
I guess we're going to have to find out exactly what kind of wood it is. Now, who's going to be able to tell us that? Does Mr. Carmelo know?
Probably.
He would know.
You know, one of the points that is an interesting and personally gratifying one is that I went out into the world of carpentry, which was a totally unfamiliar thing, and was able to get training, was able to go directly from there, one day from there to here, being able to do the same thing for other people. There perhaps are a few of the males who feel that they would be better taught by a male, because this is the only person they've seen operating a power tool before. We do have women whose parents don't wish them to be in the workshop because it isn't women's work. that there are exceptions to anyone but not their own children. We think of retarded children as having all sorts of potential and possibility if we only find out the way to get through to them, to handle them, to teach them. This applies very much to the retarded adult. He is not completely formed. He's never been completely exposed. There's no final and ultimate bottom line limit to he or anyone else.
State law requires that all retarded children receive some sort of education. The sort of education they do receive is determined after the child undergoes a series of evaluations. They may be put in a special education course at a public school. They could be put in a private institution. In-home instruction may be set up, or they may be mainstreamed into the general curriculum at a public school. If you want more information on any of these, the people to contact are at the State Department of Educational and Cultural Services, Division of Special Education, Augusta, Maine, 04333. Their telephone number is 289-3451. When a retarded person reaches the age of 20, they are no longer within the bailiwick of the State Department of Education. Some of these people may have received vocational training in school. In that case, they may be able to hold down a regular job. Others will work in a sheltered workshop like Elmhurst. Another option is a developmental day activity center where they will be taught basic survival skills like making change. If you'd like more information on what is available for retarded adults in the state of Maine, these people will act as a clearinghouse. The Bureau of Mental Retardation. They're located in the State Office Building, room 411, Augusta, Maine, 04333. Their phone number in Augusta is 289-3167. Most people who deal with the mentally handicapped say more has to be done than educating the retarded. The general public must also be educated to the problems of the retarded and their possibilities.
Do you have a question about your health? If so, TELMED may be able to help you. TELMED is a library of tape-recorded health information which you can reach by dialing a toll-free telephone number. The tapes cover a variety of health topics. You ask for the one you want. It will give you information on how to recognize an illness, how to prevent that illness, and how to adjust to a serious illness. You can reach TELMED by picking up your telephone and dialing